Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. Coming up, as you see right here, Heyman Adam Page takes on Tyler Yo in a dealer's choice match that I guess Swerve Strickland wanted to name one of his minions to do so tonight. But Swerve will know his dealer's choice against Heyman Adam Page's choice of opponent. We'll get that. Plus, two former world champions, John Moxley collides against Jeff Hardy. These two men are both former WWE champions. Moxley, a former AEW champion, but these two world champions get it on one coming up. Also, too, speaking of the women, Deonna Purrazzo, a former multi-time women's champion, takes on another former multi-time women's champion, Tyra Rackett. They're both former TNA women's champions, Impact, or however you want to call it. But Timely Tony Storm, the current AEW women's champion, will be at ringside to be watching this. And another former AEW slash WWE champion, Chris Jericho, is in action. He takes on Clive Fletcher. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. And it starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the AEW Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Karen. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, let's get to it right now here on the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We're going to start off with this. Two former WWE champions collide in the ring as John Moxley takes on Jeff Hardy. John Moxley versus Jeff Hardy. What a match that was. These two former WWE champions want to take it to the limit and take each other to the limit as Moxley did that suplex, not that did that sleeper hold I meant to say, and tried to use the pattern of sleeper hold to choke out his opponent. Moxley trying to I guess Moxley trying to relegate himself to what he need to do. Moxley, one thing about John Moxley, he loves to be a striker, and what strike he was. I think one thing about Moxley, doing what he needed to do tonight. But eventually, Moxley was in the ring against everybody. Like these masked luchadors came out of nowhere and attacked Moxley. At the Moxley had probably taunted them, and Moxley did the same thing with Jeff Hardy. I think Jeff Hardy likes to get mutilated with his ear. We remember Randy Orton did that to him a couple of years ago. Tried to take his ear out, his earlobe out, as the luchadors were watching this match intently. Moxley doing all he can do throughout the kitchen sink. He asked me on Jeff Hardy outside the ring, but Moxley gave him that look, and Moxley paid for it by getting his butt whooped tonight. And Moxley taking it down. The Luchadors trying to attack John Moxley. John Moxley going at the Luchadors. The Luchadors made an example out of Moxley tonight. Make Moxley will know better next time to not put his hands on the Luchadors going forward. So we'll see that how that's gonna go. Also, too, we saw that tonight. Heyman Adam Page was in action. Heyman Page was in the dealer's choice match against Swerve Strickland's choice of opponent. Swerve chose Tula, and Tula took it to Swerve outside the ring. Swerve and Tula really taking each other down. Swerve down to the top rope onto the floor. Tula tried to get back up on his feet. Tula won the half of the I think half with Khan. I think Khan was had other prior engagements and stuff. But Tula took it to Swerve, took it to Mock, not Heyman. I meant to say Heyman stand there looking professional. He won his match against Tula, but Heyman looking forward to see who he's gonna meet one on one later on tonight. Heyman gets to choose who his person is gonna be coming forward. Heyman took a really nasty price for it later on. We know that coming up next week, February 7th, will be my birthday, but I'll get a birthday gift as the Stinger gets an opportunity of a lifetime to take on to become a world tag team champion. He teams up with Darby Allin. They had a face to face. The Stinger wants to leave AEW. Sting has only one more month left. Well, you can say this February now. Sting has one more month left, so he can go on to he can do retire at Revolution as a tag team champion. In order to do so, he has to do what he needs to do to get the job done. So we'll see what Sting wants to do. Sting having a face to face confrontation with champions Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Sting saying that he doesn't see Big Bill as a challenge with like a lot of giant threats. So Sting wants to see what Big Bill's made of and what he's all about. Sting wants to do that as well as we know Darby history with Ricky Starks years ago on what they had going on. So now everything is coming to fruition coming up sooner rather than later. So we'll see. Well, the mighty Warlow. Warlow was in action. Warlow went against a jobber. Warlow decided to take a pose, strike a pose, and take a look at himself in the Titantron as a bodybuilder pose. Warlow decimated Commander in this match tonight. Warlow and Commander set it up. Warlow set him up with a fireman's carry. You see the mighty Warlow picks him up and sets him up and do the version of his version of F5, where he calls it the Warlow bomb. Warlow gets the win. One, two, three. Warlow is victorious over Commander for them. Warlow might be the one. If you look down further, Warlow when he they want to turn him babyface, but the only way to do so, he has to stay heel. So down the road, he will Roger Adam Cole saying that he will present him and give him the AEW championship to him. So it'll be a struggle right then and there about that. So we'll see. Warlow wins his match tonight. Warlow getting himself ready, and the mighty Warlow is that preparing and stuff after pinning Commander tonight. One, two, three. Well, speaking of that, we told you that Timeless Tony Storm was set to do a commentary. Tony Storm set to do commentary, looking on to see um Tyra Valkyrie versus Tyra Valkyrie versus Deanna Perrazzo. And you see right Deanna Perrazzo looking right there with the feathers. As Tyra Valkyrie was more focused on her husband, Johnny Dynamite, what you gonna call her? As what's her name? It looked like she was disgusted. But Deanna Perrazzo found the way and found a measure to win her match tonight. Deanna Perrazzo had to utilize her skills as a former champion. She was trying to get to Tony Storm. We know Deanna Perrazzo and Tony Storm were the best of friends, but they're not best of friends no more. As Deanna Perrazzo wanted to prove to Tony that she can beat Tony and shake her out of what's going on with this illusion of her being a 1930s movie star. I think Tony Storm may have the factor right there coming up, but Tony Storm perhaps doing what she needed to do to get the win and stuff. Well, we told you that the um, the pain maker Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was in action. Chris Jericho was in action against Kyle Fletcher. Chris Jericho took it to Kyle Fletcher. And that's Jericho by no wonder Chris a lot of people body shame Chris Jericho. But Jericho he was trying to get himself a win or victory, but it wasn't that much for Jericho's liking. One thing about Jericho, Jericho ain't gonna waste no time whatsoever as he sit down and stuff. Jericho hits the pain, the coldest, the juices effect or something, the pain maker, and got the one, two, three over Kyle Fletcher. And Jericho gets the win over Kyle Fletcher, um, as he always do. So Jericho gets the win, one, two, three for Kyle Fletcher when this match. Well, we know next week Jericho will take on Kanesha, take a Tanashi next week. So Jericho looking forward for his match against Tanashi next week. So look forward to seeing that next week. Coming up, Jericho and Tanashi 1-on-1 next week. Well, the Young Bucks with this new gimmick that they have right here, the Young Bucks, they should have showed this gimmick while CM Punk was in AEW, so it'd be an authority figure versus a rebel. But they didn't want to do that. Now they want to do it, which don't make no sense whatsoever. The Young Bucks with their mustaches and their goatees trying to up the ante, and they don't up the ante like they used to. But the Young Bucks trying to put their way and pencil their way into a match for the tag team titles. Seeing that if Sting and Darby can defeat Ricky Starks and Big Bill, they'll be the ones that take the titles away from the Stinger and Darby coming up. But Sting and Darby way too savvy, way too smart for that. He falling for that nonsense for the Bucks and stuff. What the Bucks have going on. So we'll see. Well, it was that time. It was that main event time after Heyman Adam Page. You show Heyman Adam Page. Heyman Adam Page. The Heyman wanted to announce that who Swerve was going against. Heyman said, "Hey, you going against a wrestling legend, a hardcore legend, RVD, in a hardcore match. RVD took it to Heyman, took it to Swerve. I think Swerve did not expect RVD coming the way he did tonight. RVD was in a lot of pain tonight. RVD setting up Swerve Strickland and beating Swerve Strickland down. Swerve Strickland did not see that coming. Even got a chair to his head. I think Swerve now knows what's going on and how that's going to go for him. But Swerve didn't get the job done, and you thought he would have. He did against RVD. Swerve defeated RVD with an inch of his life. Swerve won the match, but then Heyman Page came out there to tell Swerve that they needed to finish this match up for the rubber match. Samoa Joe laughing, thinking it's funny and amusing to him that now we know now that one of these two men, Swerve or Heyman Page, will whoever wins this match gets become the number one contender for the world championship at Revolution. I think we're gonna get a double count out, and it's gonna lead to um, Swerve and Heyman Page in a triple threat match against Samoa Joe. Rather than Joe thinking he's gonna fight one challenge, he's gonna beat both of them. You can just tell and know. I think Swerve cousin had something to do with that. Will Washington. So we'll see how that's gonna go next week. Well, we know that this coming up Saturday on Collision, um, his Jethro, I guess, will take on Daniel Brian Daniels, and they had to find somebody from Mexico. You know how that go. Now next week, the World Tag Team titles are on the line as Ricky Starks and Big Bill defend their championships against legendary Sting and Darby Allin. Can Sting and Darby Allin do the impossible and win the AEW World Tag Team titles? Only time will tell on that, and we'll see. And on the honorable mention right here that the Acclaim and the Bullet Club are trying to be friends now, but you can tell down the road the Bullet Club are going to turn to Acclaim, and that's it. But we'll see how that's going to go. Also, too, we know next week Tony Khan will make an important announcement. We're hearing that a former WWE star is coming. We don't know who could it be. Could it possibly be Sasha Banks, Dolph Ziggler, or somebody from the WWE that used to be a WWE alum coming to AEW? We'll wait and see and find out. All right, that ends wrestling hot topics. Let's move over to that ends the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Let's move over to wrestling hot topics. On wrestling hot topics, AEW former WWE Women's Champion Ronda Rousey continues to make claims about the Vince McMahon scandal. After Ronda Rousey saying that Vince McMahon may be gone from Endeavor in WWE, but he still has Bruce Pritchard as his mold. And Ronda saying you got to get rid of Bruce Pritchard if you really, really want to say clean, safe WWE. And that what Ronda Rousey trying to say on this tweet. So we'll see. She takes her advice coming forward. So we'll see. Also, too, Bailey, the WrestleMania Royal Rumble winner from this year, this couple of days ago, she wanted to know why she wasn't on the road to WrestleMania image instead of Bianca Belair. Guess they're still trying to figure out Bianca Belair um, point in tension going on. So we'll see how that's going to go. Also, too, Solo SmackDown star Solo Sokola decide to deactivate his X account after we found out that Solo many people are going back and digging up his past stuff. This 10 years ago. Solo said all this and this stuff. He said, "You know what about math, history and math? He said, I hate math. Um, we get it. Everybody had struggling math. I was kind of when I was growing up. I can relate to Solo. I didn't like math neither, but eventually when I got to college and stuff, I needed math, and math became a very very um, profitable asset for me, so I can learn how to do stuff. You know, I don't know every math, but I know certain math. You know, that's kind of good, and it's kind of like now you learn what you need to know. But the math I learned in college, it kind of helped me, and I had a math teacher that took his time to show me how math works. So I was always thankful and grateful for him for that. But Solo didn't like math, so I understand. You know, math ain't everybody's strong suit, like reading, everything else, but you need to know stuff like the arithmetic is math so you can be able to count and count your money. So Solo, you do need math in everyday life, everyday work. You need math so you can count your money, count your wealth, count what you need, stuff like that. So math plays a important role in everybody's life, no question about it when you look at it. So Solo, you was kind of bold on that, but we'll let you slide with that. All right, we're gonna end that right now here on the Pro Wrestling Show with Samoa Joe finding out that either Swerve or Hangman will get a shot at his AEW championship. We'll see and how this will go down. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kenny Dick, saying so long. We'll see you Friday for the SmackDown Ring Report. See you then.